running on caffeine, 3 hours of sleep, and the sheer force of academic guilt. Out here telling kids to take sensory breaks while you haven't moved your desk in the past 6 hours. Mabuhay! This is Jenny with an H. So I found this, or I saw this trend on Instagram, and shout out to Cozy OT Taylor for starting this trend. I don't know if she started it, but that's where I first saw it. Asking ChatGPT to roast OT, or like roast you basically. And so I wanted to try it for myself for the specific season of my life or life career as a practitioner and a student. I mentioned in my previous video that, did I mention it? I don't know. But I went back for my post-professional doctorate program or degree to have the OTD. I graduated with my master's degree in 2021. Now it's 2025, and so I decided to practice first and get that experience and find out what my niche really is and what setting I really love. And I learned that it is pediatrics, specifically early intervention with the babies. So developmental milestones, reflexes. I'm still a little bit challenged by feeding, so I'll be taking courses and how to do more research in that area. But that is where my love is right now. And so I asked ChatGPT or AI to roast me, a post-professional occupational therapy doctorate student who is also a practicing pediatric OT. So FYI, I tried to practice in the beginning of my program. So it's January 2025 now. Well, by the time I post this, probably February. I worked until August as a pediatric OT in the clinic / EI, home-based. But my program started in August and I realized that it's a lot, as I am doing a synergy between two residencies. One is pedagogy, which is academia, teaching, and clinical research. So I go to the hospital, meet with participants and gather data, do assessments, questionnaires, as well as behavioral assessment, everything in between. I did not continue to practice. I was offered a position as a consultant by another company around the area to just go in once a month or once or twice a month to be a consultant for ABA therapists or other paraprofessionals that works with children. However, even though we have the weekends, I feel like I needed that time to rest, but also sometimes I still do work on the weekends anyway. But here's what ChatGPT responded when I asked it to roast me, a post-professional occupational therapy doctorate student who is also a practicing pediatric OT. Gave me 4 inputs. The first one, oh, so you're a post-professional OTD student and a practicing pediatric OT? Wow, talk about gluten for punishment. As if working with tiny humans all day wasn't exhausting enough, you decided, what would be fun? More school. Oh my goodness. I already read that first part earlier, so I was really I was already cracking up. That gave me an idea to record this one and share with you all. Okay, the next one was, this one I haven't fully read. Let me guess. Your free time consists of writing discussion posts, pretending you'll catch up on research articles, and staring at your screen wondering if your brain is just one more APA citation away from shutting down. Ay, ay, ay. Third one, and don't even get me started on how you probably preach work-life balance to parents while running on caffeine, 3 hours of sleep, and the sheer force of academic guilt. You're out here telling kids to take sensory breaks while you haven't moved your desk in the past 6 hours. Sometimes it's true. When I am in my clinical research residency, there's an option for me to do full day, but I chose to work 4 hours of shifts at a time. I only need to do 12 in my clinical research and then the rest in pedagogy. It's a lot sitting down for hours. I get wiggly. I'm a wiggler and I would fidget around, especially mundane tasks of entering data, not so much of a cognitive load. And I move around. But so every hour I try, or at least halfway through my shift, I would walk around the campus or the block to get that input, sensory input in, or at least that exercise in. All right, last one. Honestly, I respect the grind, but let's be real. You could probably evaluate yourself for burnout at this point. Just remember, you can't bill for treating your own executive dysfunction. That I didn't hear yet. The executive dysfunction. And it's definitely evident as I procrastinate a lot and I have been so disorganized. Even though it's funny how my friends, or at least my colleagues and people I met on Instagram that I chat with, that, oh, you're so amazing, you're doing a lot of things, like, all at once, like you're volunteering for the state association, and then now you're going to the national conference, and then you're going for your PP-OTD, and yada yada yada. You seem like, or you look like you've got it handled. Girl, trust me, it's true. I run on caffeine and 2 to 3 hours of sleep. Sometimes I get my 6 hours, but most of the time it's 3 to 4 hours a night. Anyways, thank you for joining me in ChatGPT roast today for me as a post-professional OT, doctorate student slash OT, pediatric OT. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's not as informational as usual, but I hope this brought you fun and break from whatever craziness and busyness you're doing in OT school or OT job. And I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Salamat!